Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday. It is 10:32. I'm running a little bit late, but this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. Let me see if I can find me here in case there's any comments. There we go. Hello, hello. Let me know that you're here. Oh, it's going to be a great, hot, sultry day. My favorite kind of day. So, how is everybody's week going? I mean, it's Tuesday, but how are we doing? Everybody doing okay? I'm like all messed up here. Good morning, good morning. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. If this is the first time that you've been on, put a 1 so that I can personally welcome you afterwards. We have a lot of events that are coming up. I did just open up my calendar for July. So if you are interested in scheduling an appointment, go to connectingtospiritwithstacy.com. We are working on a new website. It's not up yet, but when it comes up, oops, I will let you know. So, Tuesday, 10:30. Connecting to Spirit with Stacy, evidential medium Stacy Niedenthal. I'm so glad you're here, that you took the time to tune in. You know what? Share it with your friends. Today's going to be an awesome day. We're going to talk about the F word. That's right, forgiveness. You know, my hope is that if you tune in, that I might offer you some energetic information about your energy, your spirit, how to live in the world that seems like sometimes it's closing in around you. We talk about things like grief and meditation and, the afterworld and past life regressions and just that spiritual walk that we are all on. You don't have to feel like you have to have this special kind of gift. You don't have to feel like you were the chosen one, because we were all chosen. We all have some sort of energetic gift within us. It's just how much we grow that gift and how much we are mindful of that. These are all abilities. So this Tuesday Talks isn't just about connecting to those on the other side, but it's about that miraculous spiritual journey that we are all on that sometimes is difficult. So I've based this Tuesday Talks on 2 questions that I received. And if you ever have a question that you want me to create either a podcast show about or a Tuesday Talks, you can email it to connectingtospiritwithstacy@gmail.com, or you can private message me the question. So back to the questions. I believe that the 2 questions are very much connected. The first question is, how do I forgive myself? And then the second question is, how do I ask for my power and not my pain when my pain is all I know? Wow. Does that really touch your inner being? How do I ask for my power and not my pain when my pain is all I know? So I want to talk to you about the F word. And the F word is forgiveness. And what steps that you can take to make it possible to forgive not only others, but yourself as well. We're going to look at 8 things that you can do to actively practice walking through forgiveness and understanding it in order to heal. And then we're going to look at 8 questions to ask yourself to help you walk in forgiveness of yourself. So I don't know about you all, but I grew up with hearing forgive and forget. And it sounds like it should be super duper easy, right? Just forget about it. Just forget about it. Well, how do you forget a wound that someone placed on you? How do you forgive that wound that someone placed on you? How do you forgive yourself for something that changed your emotional well-being, and then on top of that, forget about it? When that inner voice in your head constantly reminds you, well, you did this, and you did this, and you did this. I constantly, not constantly, because I'm working on it, but especially when I lay my head down at night, certain instances will pop up in my head of where I wasn't maybe the best mother I could have been, or, the best friend that I could have been. And I think to myself, man, if I knew then what I know now, how different it would be. But I just want you to think to yourself, you did exactly what you needed to do at the time, and you didn't mean to hurt anybody, let alone yourself. So I want to tell you first what forgiveness is. And I'm going to read this from the Greater Good magazine. So here's what it says. Psychologists generally define forgiveness as a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance toward a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Just as important is an understanding of what forgiveness is not. Experts who study or teach forgiveness make clear that when you forgive, you do not gloss over or deny the seriousness of the offense against you. Forgiveness does not mean that you're totally forgetting, nor does it mean you're condoning or excusing the offenses. Through forgiveness, though forgiveness can help repair the damaged relationship, it does not obligate you to reconcile with the person who harmed you. Instead, forgiveness brings the forgiver peace of mind and frees him or her over corrosive anger. I love that word, corrosive anger. While there is a debate over whether true forgiveness requires positive feelings towards the offender, experts agree that it at least involves letting go of deeply held negative feelings in that way that empowers you to recognize the pain that you suffer without letting the pain define you, enabling you to heal and move on with your life. Again, that was written that was taken from the Greater Good magazine. So let's look at that closely, shall we? It is a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment. Think about that. So in actuality, what you're saying to yourself is, I will not allow the actions of others to affect my emotional well-being. Even if this person doesn't actually deserve my forgiveness, you are addressing your well-being. This is not your burden to carry or to hold on to or to fester, that corrosive anger. And then it goes on to say you are not glossing over the fact of what happened or how it made you feel. You are searching for peace within yourself. Again, your own well-being. You want to find balance, and this empowers you to state with authority that this pain will not define me. You are not the pain. You are not the wound. This was a big epiphany for me years ago when I decided not to allow a traumatic situation define me. Instead, I recognized being who I was in spite of what happened. And I no longer needed approval from them to be the person that I was growing into. In retrospect, I am who I am because I found peace in knowing that it was up to me to win this fight. I needed to walk away from, in order to heal. Interesting. So here are the points that I want you to think about when you're thinking about forgiving someone, when you're thinking about the big F word. 1, you know how you felt when it happened, and you decided it was not okay. You chose not to allow it to fester in your energy. Boundaries. Number 2, you acknowledge that forgiveness is for you, not for anyone else, because in the midst of forgiveness is release. Boundaries, release. Number 3, you sought peace for yourself, even if it meant that you would not condone or reconcile with the person who hurt you. Peace. Boundaries, release, peace. Number 4, you are able to acknowledge that the distress of this anger actually came from your wounded heart, either from 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago. Now you can incorporate a practice to ease your body's fight or flight response. Wounded heart, ease. So you've got boundaries, release, peace from the wound, and ease the body's fight or flight. Number 5, you chose you. You chose you. You consciously agreed that these actions taught you not to expect what you need from life from others. You recognized you're the captain to your own ship, and only you can navigate those waters. So you chose you. So we have boundaries, release, peace, wounded heart, ease, and you chose you. You made yourself a priority. Number 6, you've chosen to immerse yourself in positive energy. Change your perspective and the outcome will change for you. Number 7, by changing your energy, you actively instilled the best revenge. You're stating that no matter what, I will rise and I will survive. I appreciate myself enough not to take the bait, placing my energy in a spiraling out of control point where I'm doubting my ability. So I choose not to participate in negative energy. So I'm choosing not to participate. I'm choosing me to immerse myself in positive energy, to ease the wounds, to find peace, to release because of boundaries. And number 8, when you look back, and you will see that no amount of negative confrontation is worth your peace. Isn't that interesting? No amount of negative confrontation is worth your peace. So there's a quote that I have hanging in my office. It's been hanging there for about 10 years. I wrote it on the chalkboard with the intention every week, every month, I'm going to change the quote, but it's still there. It's been up there for 10 years as a constant reminder. And the quote says, I never knew how strong I was till I had to forgive someone who wasn't sorry and accept an apology I never received. This is a spiritual, energetic victory. Once you release that styminess that tried to prevent your progress, it actually excels your energy. So when we're talking about forgiving others, these are 8 points that are very good for your own energy. Do you want to get stuck in that doubt that someone puts on you? Or do you want to say, I have boundaries. Hold on, I have boundaries and I'm going to release this negative energy. It's coming from a place of woundedness, but I need to ease my body because I choose me. I choose to immerse myself in positive energy. I choose not to participate in your negativeness because I choose me. No amount of negative confrontation is worth my peace. I choose to forgive you, not for you, but for me. I choose to release this, not because I'm glossing over it and saying what you did was okay. No, it was not okay. So I'm validating my thought pattern and my feelings and my thoughts, but I am choosing to possibly walk away in this energetic victory. Make sense? Okay. So forgiving yourself. And that second question, and I want to go back to it. I had a note here, but I didn't put it down. Hold on. It says crap. Doesn't say crap. It says, how do I ask for my power and not my pain when my pain is all I know? So, do you feel as if the pain is all you know because you've allowed your body, your spirit, your energy, your mind to be in conflict with yourself? So, forgiving yourself. You can easily avoid someone else who did you wrong. You can easily choose not to be around them. You can easily, if you see them, you walk the other way. And I'm sorry, when I see these people talk about how immature it is for someone to just go silent if they felt like they were being harmed, I don't feel like that is immature. Sometimes there's just nothing left to say. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and act like nothing happened. I forgive you. I release you. But I'm not going to fall for that bait again. And saying to me, oh, well, this is the only father you're going to have. This is the only mother you're going to have. This is a family member. This is your best friend from 40 years ago. I have to really take a hard look at what past actions were and say, you know what? I was their best friend. I was their daughter. And this is how they chose to treat me. Now I see it. And I'm not going to allow it again. So, little pet peeve there, little soapbox, sorry. So, when we think about forgiving ourselves, we can't hide from ourselves. Everywhere we go, there we are. You look in the mirror, there you are. You look here, there you are. So, avoiding it, hold on, I lost my train of thought. So here's the thing, you can't avoid yourself. And avoiding the situation makes it fester in your mind, your body, and your spirit. It can actually cause illness and stress and anxiety within your headache, make your muscles sore, give you anxiety. Guilt is heavy, heavy baggage to carry with you. And I want you to hear me when I say to you, you are more than your worst mistake. Now, I'm not making excuses for bad behavior, but I want you to ask yourself these 8 questions when you're thinking about the guilt that you carry within yourself, and you're looking at the actual situation of the guilt. Were you unexperienced about the situation because you had never faced anything like this before? Number 2, did you do the best that you could with the knowledge that you had at the time and not mean to hurt anyone? There's a difference. If you did it intentionally to hurt someone, it's a different thing. Number 3, was this a learning experience for you of what not to do? Did you learn your lesson and go, oh my God, I'm never going to do that again? But you're still holding it in with what you did. Did you try to make amends for your wrongdoing? Sometimes if you make amends and the other person just isn't having it, you did, at least you tried. Okay? And I look at that at the flip-flop side too. If someone has done me wrong and they try to make amends, I may say that I forgive you, but we're not going to be buddy-buddy anymore. Because it broke that trust. Ooh, hold on. Something happened. Oh, there we go. Number 5. Is this guilt helping you or hindering you? If the guilt is helping you to be a better person, then you still have things to work through. If it is hindering you, keeping you in bed, keeping you secluded, make what's the word? Where you're doing self-harm, then it is hindering you. It is something you need to work through. Number 6, was it intentional? Did you do it on purpose? Like I said, this is not an excuse for bad behavior. These are things that when you look at the guilt that you're holding within yourself, that you want to dissect it. Number 7, have you grown from the experience? And number 8, can you permit yourself, can you allow yourself to forgive yourself? I was talking to my son a couple weeks ago about a situation, and I said to him, you know, there are so many mistakes that I made when you guys were kids. And I just feel like over and over and over again, I need to apologize for all of my shortcomings. I should have done better, and I can see it now. And I remember giving him that wording, but then I said to him, I was talking to someone years ago, and I may have talked about this before, and this person stopped me dead in my tracks and said, are you proud of your children now? And I'm like, absolutely. So in spite of your shortcomings as a mother, your children are thriving. Yes, I mean, we all rise and fall. But yes, they've overcome immense things. So if you were to say that you didn't do the best that you could, are you taking away from what they have achieved in spite of your shortcomings? And all of a sudden, a little bit of that guilt released, because I had to realize it wasn't about me and what I did wrong. Yes, it was so that I learned the lesson. But it was about focusing on how many things they have achieved in spite of my shortcomings. So I had to grow from that experience. I'm a different grandmother than I was a mother. And, you know, there are times where I still am like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard. I wish I would have spent more time with the kids. But my kids are such good parents and dog parents and human beings that they either took what I did to grow with it or took what I did to say, this is not what I want to do. So I had to look at that as a learning lesson for myself. And I needed to give myself permission to forgive myself. Make sense? So when you can honestly answer all 8 of those questions and look deep within it, you're on your way to healing. Some of the things, when I look at some of the situations that I was in, were you inexperienced about the situation because you had never faced it before? Yes, when I was a kid, I had never been that kid before. I had never experienced certain situations. Okay. Did I do the best that I could with it? Most of the time? Sometimes, as a teenager, probably not. I did some stupid stuff. Was it a learning experience for what not to do? Some of the things definitely were. Did you make amends for your wrongdoings? I think in most cases I tried to make amends. Some I didn't. Whether I haven't seen that person in ages or whatever. But I look at it, and I know this might be cheating, I made amends in meditation to their energy with the thought process of, if I ever see them, here's what I want to say. But then it's having the guts to go forward and go, I don't know if you remember. Okay. Is the guilt helping you or hindering me? Sometimes it helps me, but most times it hinders me. It helps me to be a better person, to say, I'm not doing that again. And I've grown from experience. So it's continually giving myself permission to forgive myself. It's not saying it's okay for bad behavior. That's when I need to make the amends. So we want to look, when you're forgiving yourself at those 8 questions. Everyone, every human being on God's green earth has done something they're not proud of from 10 years ago or 10 minutes ago. If you go back and you ask yourself these questions, you may open up an entirely new way of processing your emotions. Again, I am not making excuses for bad behavior. But when you're diving deep, and this is called shadow work when you do the inner journey, the big question about this behavior or about the result of what you did is why? Where did this action come from? This is not to be, This is not for deflection. This is not to blame this on someone else. It's an acknowledgement of wanting to do better for the world around me. So when you answer the question of why, do any memories come up that need forgiveness? I can think of a couple. Things that I was taught, things that are just in my spine, that I have to go, I need to shift gears. It didn't work well for me, so it's not going to work well for others. Guilt weighs you down to a point where it stunts your own spiritual growth. And we all have a spiritual growth. We all have these epiphanies. We all have those moments where we're like, we feel lighter because we've released something. But when you have this guilt, it blocks the views of the blessings that are around you. So when I was so focused on what I did wrong as a parent, it blocked the view of the blessings that are my children and what they've accomplished. It stopped you from blessing others because you feel unworthy. I imagine if I went to my children over and over and over again and apologized for how terrible of a mother I was, after a while they'd be like, man, good God, Mom, shut up. Do you just want me to say, no, Mom, you were a good mom? No, that's not what I want. Because now I want to deflect and say, you are such good humans despite my shortcomings. So Luke 6:37 says, do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will forgiving. You will be forgiven. So are you standing in judgment of yourself? Are you condemning yourself to a lifetime of guilt? That little voice in your head. Then forgive yourself and you will be forgiven. It takes practice. There would be times when I would release something and later it would come back into my head and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've already worked through this. This is not mine. I release you. I forgive you. Go away, go away, go away. And I would take a moment. It takes time to bring in the right mindset. But when you change your perspective, when you look at it a different way, the outcome will change. If you want a life filled with joy and happiness, be mindful in what you're telling yourself. Now, it's not all going to be sunshine and lollipops. But remember how I've talked to you over and over and over again that there's always blessings in the chaos. You look for those. And if there is a way that you can forgive yourself for not seeing that blessing, now's the time to do it. Change the way you speak to yourself and to the world around you. And the world around you will change. When you place these words, these intentions in the energetic field that's around you, in the world around you. My biggest pet peeve is, I hate. I hate cotton candy. I don't, but, I hate traffic. I hate going to the grocery store. You can strongly dislike it, but you can also say, I'm going to go to the grocery store so I don't have to go in 3 weeks and be there for longer than what I am. Okay? Look for the things, look for the blessings of those things. Because when you put hate out into the universe, you get hate back. I've been saying this for years. My kids would be like, oh, I'm like, you don't hate it. I strongly dislike it. All right, you can strongly dislike it. Tell me why you strongly dislike it. Well, I strongly dislike it because of this. Well, what is something that is good about this situation? There's nothing good about the situation, Mom. Nope. Let's find something good. See, I probably was an annoying mother. But that's okay. I have awesome kids now. This is spiritual enlightenment. This is offering love to yourself and to the world around you so that you can be a better you and the world can be a better world. So think about those 8 things that we talked about in order to forgive others, and then the 8 questions that you can ask yourself in order to really dive down deep. Anger, I love how it said corrosive anger, because a lot of times we are very quick to spark. Something happens and our head whips around and we're, rah, right? If it is possible, this challenges me. If it is possible to just, I'll close my eyes sometimes and take a deep breath, maybe bite my lip, take another deep breath. And there are even sometimes when I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to respond to that. You want a reaction, and I'm not going to give it to you. Forgiveness, the big F word. Thinking about things that you've gone through in the past that have placed you where you are right now. And where you are right now is not where you're going to be tomorrow, next year, 5 years from now. It's just keeping on moving, forgiving, and not allowing it to be your burden when someone else does you wrong. They have something they need to work on that you can't fix. But what you can fix is the way it affects your energy. Right? And if it's something that you did, good God, when I think about some of the things that I did when I was 18, 19, and 20 years old, crazy stuff. I had a lot of fun. Wasn't always a nice person. And I carry guilt for some of that. But I had to come to the realization to say, okay, you're 60. That's still hard to say. How long are you going to carry this? It's been 50 years. Come on. Really? You really want to carry this to your deathbed? Or do you want to release it and forgive it so that you can live a life filled with joy and laughter and happiness and memories and stories? I surround myself with the people that I care about most. And it's not that I avoid, I kind of do avoid. I do avoid low vibing, energetic people that I have known for a long time. But if I am put in their path, I'm sociable, but I'm not going to pick up their energy, and I'm not going to allow them to trigger me. And if they do, I just respond kind of sarcastically. And I just say, God, love your baby heart. Gotta go. But you have a good day. Right? All right, guys. Tuesday Talks at 10:30. Evidential medium Stacey Niedenthal. I got a notice today that there's some type of technical issue with Bold Brave Media, so I'm not sure if the podcast is happening tonight or not. Right now, it doesn't look like it is, but you can always watch one of the replays. Guys, I love you. It's hot out there. I love that it's hot out there. Enjoy the heat, but hydrate. And maybe your hydration today is allowing forgiveness to enter into your energetic being. I pray with all my heart that you are living the life you love and you're loving the life you live. If not, you're the only one that can change it. I will have this blog up later today, so if you need to know what those 8 questions are or the 8 things to think about when you're forgiving someone else, it'll be up on the webpage. Have a great and awesome day. I will catch you next week. Peace out. I love you. Till then, I'll be waiting for you. All right. Bye-bye.